Welcome back to day 13 of the 21 days money mindset adventure. Coach Paz is here, your money mindset coach. Today, we are going to talk about the third dynamic law of prosperity, which is the vacuum law. I don't know if you ever heard about it before, but this is a magical law by nature, like all laws of nature, which all of them are amazing. And the reason that this is a law, because once you apply it, you will see the result. This is just how law works, right? The law of attraction, the law of gravity, the law of cause and effect. There is many natural laws in this universe that govern the universe. And one of the prosperities law, it's the vacuum law. So with that said, the vacuum law, simply put, is just creating a space for what you want. That's all you need to do. This is your responsibility to create the space. Now, how you do that? There are two ways that you can do it. Number one is subtraction, and second is addition. In subtraction, what you're wanting to do is create a space for what you want by removing all items. This is how you actually make the space. For example, if you go to your closet, there are a lot of clothes in your closet that you're not wearing, right? I'm just going to make an educated assumption here. There are many, and you're still keeping them. Why? You don't even know, but this is okay. For you to apply the law, what you need to do is go to your closet, take a little bag or big bag. And when my clients do that, oh my God, they have like this huge black trash bags that they fill up with so many unnecessary clothes, clothes they didn't wear in the past year or even more than that. I'm being conservative here. So it's just by taking all things out and making room for the new. This is number one. The second one is addition, is creating a space for what you want by adding new items. Now, how do you add new items? Like it doesn't make a lot of sense to say vacuum law and I need to add things. It sounds counterintuitive, but it's actually not. For example, let's say that you want a new phone, but you cannot afford the new phone right now. What you can afford is the case, the phone case. This one you can afford, right? So when you buy just the case itself, you are actually inviting this new energy of this phone to come into your life. This is just how it works, because once you get this, it's a representation, it's a vibration. It is a physical representation of an energy that needs to be here. And we're going to dive deep into the concept so you can understand it on a much deeper level, because like I already told you many times, when you understand what you're doing and why you're doing this, the how gets really easy. So I'm going to explain to you how to apply this law very effectively into your life. And I'm going to explain to you also the mechanism behind it and how it operates. And you will be able to understand it, and you're going to apply it, and you're going to have so much abundance that I'm just excited to see results. I love when people send me emails and leave comments here below and tell us what you manifested through this specific method, because it's real, you guys. It's real, and you know it's real. You know that I'm speaking the truth here. You gotta take faith, but you gotta take faithful action. This is something that is very important, to take faithful actions. It's not just taking the actions, it's a faithful actions. It's you take the action, you know what you're doing, you know why you're doing it, and you know that it's going to work. And now you just leave it in the hands of God. And you say, God, let go and let God. This is exactly what it means. You just leave it to the Creator. Everything else falls into place. But you got to make the first move. With that said, let's dive into this lesson and have a lot of fun today. Let's go. The best way to introduce you to the concept of the vacuum law of prosperity is by reading directly from the book, The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity by Catherine Ponder. Highly recommended read, by the way. Let's start reading and then we'll continue with the lesson. You have heard it said that nature abhors a vacuum. It is particularly true in the realm of prosperity. The vacuum law of prosperity is one of the most powerful, though it takes bold, daring faith to set it into operation, as well as a sense of adventure and expectation to reap its beautiful benefits. When a person is honestly trying to be prosperous, is thinking along prosperous lines, and still fails, it is usually because he needs to invoke the vacuum law of prosperity. Basically, the vacuum law of prosperity is this. If you want great good, greater prosperity in your life, start forming a vacuum to receive it. In other words, get rid of what you do not want to make room for what you do want. If there are people among your acquaintances and friends that no longer seem congenial being moving the tangible and intangible out of your life in the faith that you can have what you really want and desire. Often, it is difficult to know what you do want until you get rid of what you do not want. Now that you have a better understanding of the law, I'm going to give you 3 pointers that will help you execute it effectively. First point, understand this. Everything around you in your physical reality is nothing but a reflection and a representation of what's going on inside you, inside your mind, inside your heart. And let's talk about your closet or your garage, whatever. You go to your closet and you see a lot of clothes that you don't use. You didn't use them for years. You're probably never going to use them again. But they're there. You keep them there. What do you think is this represent? What it stands for? From within, spiritually, what do you think it means? And I'm going to tell you what it means. It means that it represents your lack, it actually represents your inability or your lack of ability to let go of things that are no longer serving you. And if we dive deeper into this concept, into the spiritual concept of you are not having the lack of ability or inability to let go of things that are no longer serving you, on a spiritual level, you carry with you a lot of things that are not serving you, which means like limiting beliefs about money, about everything. You carry them with you. They're not serving you, but you keep them. You don't need them. On a subconscious level, you might think, if we extend this metaphor of your clothes, the clothes in your closet, you say to yourself, you don't get rid of them because you said to yourself, maybe one day I would like to use them. Maybe. And you keep them for the maybe. And when we dig deeper and we think about the limiting beliefs that you have in regards of money or whatever, you keep them because subconsciously you think you're going to need them because they help you and served you in the past. Limiting beliefs did not just appear. In some point of your life, they served you. And we're going to have a lesson on limiting beliefs. But for now, understand they served you. This is why you have them. You didn't have them. They weren't limiting up until a certain point because you grew. Up until a certain point, they served you, and they became limiting when you grew. When you grew spiritually, physically, and everything. Because when you're a kid, there's some things, don't talk to strangers. That's a belief that is good to have. But when you grow, that's not good. You do want to talk to strangers. You do want to get to know people. And we're going to talk about it. But for now, I just wanted to drive this point home for you so you understand that everything that is your physical reality is a representation and reflection for what's going on inside. And when you actually get rid of things physically, it helps you from within spiritually, because once you are taking away, for example, clothes that you don't use and you get rid of them, all of a sudden there is a space in the closet and something within you will shift, because you will feel it. And you know what I mean? Now I'm just thinking about, as I'm saying that, I know you're like, do I really want to get rid of this shirt that I got in 97 or whatever? I don't know. I'm saying 97 because for me, it was like when I was a kid. So I don't know if it is for you, but get this, you will feel it. And when you feel it, this is how you start healing this wound and actually cultivate and build a mindset of having the ability of let go of what's no longer serving you. And it will serve you on the limiting belief lesson because once you are having this ability of let go of things that are no longer serving you, physically, emotionally, it affects you emotionally immediately. So this is number one. Number two, it's hoarding. Hoarding, it's just a symptom of the disease called poverty state of mind. You cannot become wealthy if you're a hoarder. Now you might say, Paz, I know a lot of wealthy people that have a lot of things that they don't use. And I would say, I agree with you. And yes, and I know even some of them personally. But when you are a millionaire, you will have a lot of things that you don't use, that you don't need, but you have because you can have. You have it because you can have it, because you can afford it. So just buy it. I have a lot of things that I don't use as well. But I do have the ability of letting go of what's no longer serving me, and yet have this other ability of having things that no longer serving me, but I can have them because I can afford them. But this is another level. I'm not talking about this. What I'm talking about is the $5 shirt that you keep in your closet and that you're probably never going to wear. The storage unit that you keep things that just collect dust. This is what I'm talking about, these things. And you know, this uncle that have a lot of stuff they don't use. This is exactly what I mean. And you know that this, you see these people and you're like, this guy will never be wealthy. This person cannot be wealthy because they hold on to so many things that no longer serving them. They're having a hard time detaching from material possessions. And they're so materialistic that it's actually hinder them instead of helping them. Because they think, maybe I will need this, maybe I will need that, maybe, but it never comes to fruition and they never really use that. And it just clutter in the mind. It also, when you get rid of things, you're decluttering your mind. So hoarding, highly not recommended. Recommended for you to let go of things and understand that hoarding is a symptom of the disease called poverty state of mind. Third thing, last but not least, is I want to recommend the movie, The Minimalists. I believe it's on Netflix. This is last time I watched it. It was just a few years ago, but still, I don't agree with everything in this movie. But the reason that I do want you to watch it, if you haven't watched it already, the reason that I do want you to watch it is because they drive the point home of getting rid of stuff that you don't use, you don't need. They do a really, really good job at it. Like I said, I don't agree with everything because I'm not a minimalist. I love stuff. I love having nice things and I love having a lot of things. And I don't think we need to be a minimalist because there is nothing, for me, humble about having nothing or having just a little. We're here to live abundantly, right? But for now, you're building your wealth mindset and you need to declutter. You need to get rid of what's no longer serving you. And this is how you build your mindset. Because you say, this is no longer serving me, bye. And you will see, because sometimes we even get rid of people that are no longer serving us. It's not just things. It's the ability it's the ability to let go. This is what you're cultivating, the ability of letting go with everything. And it's not easy. Especially letting go of people. It's not easy. Letting go of stuff. It's not easy. It's just not easy. This is just what it is. But it's a must. And now you understand why it's a must. So today's assignment, I want to invite you to get rid of things that you no longer use. Give them to Goodwill. Don't sell them. I don't want you to sell them. Because when you sell them, you do it for a profit. Right now, I want you to give them away. Open up your heart. Do it with all of your heart because it's just beautiful. Do it for yourself and do it for your soul and do it for your evolution. You're evolving and growing. And when you give, your heart expands. When you sell, it's a transaction. But when you give, your heart expands. It feels good. And let's be honest, you're never going to use this anyway, right? Give it away and create space for the things that you really, really want because they will show up. So you can do this. Plus, I want you to do another thing, if you feel extra brave, is to add an item and buy something that will represent for you the attainment of whatever it is that you want to have in it. Again, it can be a case for your computer that your new computer will be in. If you cannot afford the entire computer, but you can afford the case, that's a good thing. If you cannot afford a car, you can, I know a lot of people that buy the air refreshener for the car. It sounds ridiculous, and it sounds like, oh, come on, like I'm going to get just the air refreshener, I'm going to get the car. Well, it sounds silly, but it will not be so silly once you got the car. It sounds silly when you buy the case, but you don't have the computer, and then you get the case, and it's not so silly anymore. So you have permission here to be silly, because you cannot think like most people. Most people, when you'll say it to them, they'll say, you're ridiculous, man. What are you doing? And they will not understand what you're doing, but you don't need their approval because you see their results and you don't want this. You want to live differently, so you got to act differently. You got to do things that doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense at all, actually. But it will make a lot of sense once you see it working. So put it into use and you will see it working. And then you'll just start building more and more and more. This is how you expand. And with that said, to expand your container, today it's day 13, you got $400,000 to invest in yourself. Expand your container, expand your mind, expand everything in your life. And remember that you only have two choices, the way that I see it. You can lower your way of living, or you can expand your mind. It's just two things. You can lower the way of living or expanding the way you're thinking. What are you going to do? What are you choosing? Expand your mind or lower the way of your living? Because both of them are options that will help you. Which one will help you most? It goes without saying. I know it's a rhetorical question, but I wanted to say it either way because I want to drive this point for you. With that said, you guys, much love. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I will be seeing you again tomorrow to your prosperity and abundance. Amen. Adios.